Hello, Meoni here and welcome back to another sneak peek, this time once again taking to Instagram to see what Square Enix wants to share about the upcoming Shadowbringers expansion. This image was unveiled today, the 6th of May, and it's of an Aetheryte. You'd think there's not much to talk about with this image, but actually you'd be quite wrong. The Aetheryte itself is quite an interesting point. The lore behind the first iterations will be quite interesting to read, as there was actually a huge section in the recent Encyclopedia Eorzea that mentioned that even the Far East in our own source world devised almost the same exact technology simultaneously, with Eorzea's Sharlayan artisans and the Eastern honest Shishu coming to the same design conclusions, with the Encyclopedia Eorzea Volume 2 bringing to conclusion that the expansion of the Allagan Empire was probably the reason behind the ancient technology being rediscovered across the world. The Eastern Reachers called the Aetherites Ten Konto, but apart from visual differences they still pretty much looked like floating crystals, but sometimes had some decorative clasps and other things floating around them. So these then in the first, apart from obviously being there because we need them from a gameplay standpoint, do offer the potential for some storytelling as to who made the first Aetherites. As far as I know, the sundering of the shards from the source happened prior to the Allagan Empire, so that begs the question, was there even an Allagan Empire of sorts on the first? There's actually a mention of a Ronkan Empire in the Raktika write-up on the Shadowbringers special site. Is this essentially their version of the Allagan Empire? Well, like I say, lots of questions can be acquired from an image just as simple as this one. So the details of the image itself, the crystal is important to talk about specifically. The orange sort of yellowing towards the bottom of the crystal could be either a reflection of the light behind it from the skybox, or it could likely be the result of the world being flooded in light, showing the Aetheryte actually dying. This phenomenon was actually seen towards the end of 1.0, and the crystals went orange when the calamity began. Is this then the first actual sign of how close the first aggression is to a final calamity? It's interesting to think about. It would be really cool if our deeds restored not just the weather like they've mentioned and the balance of the world, but also the colour of the Aetherites themselves. But we'll have to wait and see. So the background of this image, we have some trees, some scorched crops or plants in a fenced off area, cliff edge type rocks, which actually looks like the ocean in the distance, so I'm guessing that this is their version of Lenosha, which if I remember is called Colusia in this world. So this is likely not far away from the city of Ulmor, which is the fallen version of Limsa Lominsa basically, with its shipwrecks, as the people on the first actually abandoned their fleet to instead wallow in the remaining days in luxury and excess, as those fat cats illustrated on the trailer. It's interesting to see what story could unfold here, with the area so bathed in this light, and the connotations of the actual people living here, who have already resigned their fates to the end of the world. It will be difficult, I would imagine, to be sure which side any of these NPCs truly lie. Do they want you there, actually saving the world after so much has already been sacrificed? What would that actually make these people if we were to save the world? Would they be seen as criminals? Would they be able to live with themselves? It's a brilliant plotline and I can't wait to see what happens. Images like this, no matter how immediately insignificant they may look, can help tell their own story. Anyway, let me know if I missed anything in this image, and I'll see you all next time.